Hi, Joe Delaney for Behringer here. I'm at World Music Supply, and I'm going to show you the GMX series of Behringer amplifiers. I got 3 here, and we're going to run down the line. So, I got the GMX 110. This is a 110 speaker, 30 watts with effects, okay? Then I have the GMX 210, which is basically 2 of these amps in one box. It's stereo, 2 30-watt amps, 2 channels identical to this one, and the same effects where the effects are accessible to each channel separately. So basically the 110 and the 210, this is double what this one is. But I'm going to show you the amp and the features through the GMX 1200. This is stereo, 2 60-watt amplifiers inside, head with 2 channels and effects. And that's on top of the BG412H 400-watt 412 cabinet that'll run in mono or stereo. So going to channel 1, basically the heart of these amps is the amplifier modeling. It's analog modeling. Now what you have is amp, and then it goes Tweed, British, and California for different styles of amp. And then mode, you got clean, high gain, and hot for different styles of gain. And then there's speaker emulation, which you have flat, which does nothing. Then UK, which is a kind of vintage British tone. And US, which is wide open. You have effects with 99 presets. And the effects, whatever effects you assign for each channel, work independently, so it's basically 2 separate effects engines, and then an overall presence and master. One big feature immediately, if you hold down this button, then you go here, and there is your tuner. So you have a workable tuner right there on the amp. There you go, very functional tuner, the same styles you're used to in pedal tuners and whatnot, but it's right there on the amp, pretty handy. So you hit that off, and you're back in. So, starting off clean, this is on Tweed, Clean, and UK. Put a little more volume here. Straight up clean type tone. Now, that's on Tweed. Now you go British and Clean. More of that type of tone. And then California. So you can hear the differences in the style of the modeling. Now, moving on to the gain, I'll put it back to Tweed, and I'll put it on high gain. So that's going to emulate the sound of a small vintage tube amp. And then up high gain. More high gain little amp, and then you go to British. A little more there, and then full out would be California, hot, and US. Now the EQ is real usable on this. I have it set up here, but you can scoop out the mids if you want to get more. So you can get quite a bunch of different tones. I'm going to move over to the other channel, which is the same, but I have it set up for a more full-out metal type. Now the effects, to switch the effects, you have this rotary knob here that'll select through. Now you have a lot of different things. You have everything. The first bank starts off with reverbs, and then it goes on and on and on through delays and all kinds of different things. Whatever you set it on, that's a kind of a multi-tap delay thing. You can hear all the different effects as they go down the line. You can pop the effects in and out here. And then you get up into the higher effects, and it starts getting into some wacky stuff. But you have a lot of choices. And then overall presence and master. So with the amp, basically, you have amplifier modeling, you have two amplifiers in one, you can switch between the channels easily, the effects assigned to each channel. So basically you have two amps in one, totally stereo. You can run this mono or stereo. With this cabinet, you can run it full stereo, so one half of the amp, 60 watts, would be going to the 212s on the left, and then one half, 60 watts, would be going 212s on the right. When you do that, that's when the effects really open up, because all the effects are stereo effects, so the choruses and the reverbs really open up, and you end up with a much fuller sound. So basically, yeah, that's it here. This is the GMX series of amps. You had a lot of choices, size to what you need, little brother, middle brother, and big brother. So you can catch these at worldmusicsupply.com. I'm Joe Delaney for Behringer, and there you go.